So far we've talked about intro to data analysis. What is data analysis? What are we trying to analyze? How are we going to do it? Tables and keys. And we talked about SQL basics, like basic codes, basic commands. Now, the following section is where it starts to get a little bit interesting. We'll talk about where to write SQL. How do you want to write on your computer or on the web browser? So first, online, you can write on Programmese or SQL Fiddle, and I'll post the URL in the description below. There are multiple other sites where you can write, but I'll show you how. So these are two websites that you can use to write SQL code on your web browser, and they support basic SQL operations like the select, insert, update, delete, so you can really use them to practice your basic skills. Very beginner friendly with a real-time output. There's no installation needed. It's great for quick testing and learning, and it supports multiple database engines. So we are going to be using MySQL, but it supports other database engines. And I'll post the link in the description below. So what you do is you go to programmese.com/SQL/online compiler, and you will be able to write your queries on here. It has a space here to write queries. You can, after you write, you click on Run SQL, and you will have the results and everything. So that was Programmese. The other one was SQL Fiddle. And here is SQL Fiddle. So here as well, you can write your SQL code, and you will have places, if you click play to run, we will eventually write, so don't worry, but you will be able to write your code online. Before we talk about how to install on your computer, I just wanted to show you a few other cloud databases, which are very popular, very known in the industry. So cloud databases manage data on remote servers rather than local machines. So they don't take any place on your computer. And this is typically for petabytes of data. Like, when you have a lot of data, large data that you need to be scalable, then it's typically better in the cloud. One's very popular called Amazon Relational Database Service, RDS. This is for Amazon, it's within AWS. This is used by large enterprises for high performance applications. Other ones, you have Google Cloud Platform, GCP. You have Microsoft Azure SQL. You have MongoDB, and there are so many of them available. So the benefits of this is that there is no need for physical hardware. It's stored somewhere secure, somewhere remote. You can change your computer, get a new computer. The same data will be available. It's scalable. If you want more space, automatically, dynamically will increase. High availability and global access. So wherever you find yourself, you can access your database within seconds. And it's cost effective. You only pay for what you use. Now, if you want to write straight from your computer as an application, follow the next steps. What is MySQL? MySQL is a software that helps create, store, manage structured data in databases. So do your CRUD operations. When we will install MySQL, we will set up a database server where data will be stored and managed. So a server with MySQL running can be used to create databases. And that's what we are going to do. So on your Windows or Mac computers, we are going to install an editor called PopSQL. PopSQL is used to run and write queries. So the name is PopSQL, and it's pronounced popsicle, like a popsicle. So, MySQL is very widely used in web applications, data analysis, software development. It's very, very popular. So we are going to install PopSQL first on Windows computers, then on Mac computers. If you're a Windows user, go ahead and follow these steps. You can pause at each step and try that. If you're a Mac user, you can skip to the part of the Mac installation on the video. So I'll walk you and show you on the website how to do that, but I won't be able to go through the entire installation because this is a Windows computer. So first you go to this URL. I'll post the URL in the description, and you select the Microsoft Windows operating system. So this is the website here. If you're on Windows, it should normally auto-populate. If not, you select the operating system and you select Microsoft Windows, and you download the one that is appropriate for your computer. So next, two options, download the zip or the installer. It will pretty much end up doing the same thing. You start your download, you don't need to create an account, and you start the installer. Again, if you're a Windows user, follow these steps. I cannot do it on this computer because it's a Mac computer, but you select the developer default when the installer starts, you choose custom, and then you follow the following steps. And you keep doing that until you reach the next slide. So this is the next slide for Windows installers. You hit the start menu, you select the specific SQL type. At the time of this video, your version might be different from this. So make sure the version corresponds. Then you enter the password that you created. You create your database and you enter and make sure there is a space between each of those words. Any name means you can create your own name. So you create any name you want, but that name will be used later. And then to download PopSQL, you go to the PopSQL website. So that's the PopSQL website. Make sure to select the Windows version and you download that to your computer. Once PopSQL starts, you will create an account, open the application, connect to the database, the one that you just created. Is very self-explanatory. And then you fill out this information. So nickname, you can enter anything. Type MySQL. Hostname, localhost, that's the address of your computer. Port number, database, username root, and password, the one that you created previously. Once you do that, you click on connect and you're good to go. If you're a Mac user, then you are at the right spot. Now, if you don't want to write your SQL code online from your web browser, then you can follow the following instructions. Make sure to take a screenshot at the end because I already have it installed on my computer, so I'm not going to do all the steps until the end. First, you go to the MySQL website to install MySQL on your computer. So I'll post the URL in the chat, in the description. But what you do, you go to this website. It should automatically show Mac operating system, and you hit the download button here. Then you download the first results. That should be the most recent, and you start your download. You run the file, you click, and you keep everything as default. MySQL will generate a default password, a temporary password, and root will be the username. So username root, and the password it will generate, you copy that somewhere because you are going to be using that later. The next part will be setting up MySQL server. This will run as MySQL on your computer, and it will act as a database where you can connect to. So you go to your Mac system preferences, you click on MySQL, you click on Start MySQL Server, and you click on automatically start MySQL Server. So as you can see here, mine is already started. But make sure you click Start MySQL Server and you leave it. You check the box where it says automatically starts or starts when your computer starts up, so that you can always use MySQL without having to start it all the time from the settings. Now you can connect to your database server. So the next thing you will do is open your Mac terminal. How do you open the terminal? So to open your terminal, first you open your Finder, you go to Applications, you scroll down all the way to Utilities, and within Utilities, you scroll down and you will see Terminal. So you double click on that and it should open the terminal. Within the terminal, you type the following command. I'm going to post that in the description so that will help you just copy and paste. Next, you enter this command. Now pay attention, don't enter the Kevin part. So I will post exactly what you should copy and paste in the description. So this one, for instance, starts with a dot. So you will only enter this part. Don't forget the dot and there is a space here. And this one starts at echo. For your computer, this will be different. You will not see Kevin or any similar name. It will be something that is for your computer, for your device. Then finally, you connect to MySQL server by typing the following. Again, there is no Kevin that you will type. You enter a password. Now pay attention here. When you enter a password on the terminal, it will not show anything, but it will be taking the data. So pay attention to what you type because it will not be displayed on the screen. Then you enter the password that you copied earlier. And now that you're logged in into the server, you can change your temporary password with this command. I'll also post that in the description. And you log in using the new password that you created. So you log in again with the username root and the password that you created. Then you can create your actual database. So you enter the command create database any name. It can be any name you want. So what you see there that says any name, it can really be any name that you want. And now you can write your SQL queries in the terminal. The next thing we will do is install PopSQL for Mac. So you go to the PopSQL website and you download, you use this command, popsql.com/download. I'll post that in the description. This is it right here. And you select the Mac version. So you can either have an Intel version or an Apple Silicon version, depending on your MacBook version. Then you will run PopSQL from your applications folder. So if you go back to your applications folder, you will see PopSQL where it says P right here. This is what it looks like. And you sign in, you create an account using your Google account or your Apple account, depending on what you would like. You connect to a database like the one you just created. This is the information to fill out, the nickname, anyone. Don't copy anyone. This just means, anything you would like. The database, any name you would like, the password, the one you created a few steps before. You click on connect and you're good to go. I know this seems a little bit complicated, but if you have questions, post them in the chat and I will help you. And if it's too complex for starters, use the online version, write your queries on your web browser, and we can help with the installation.
Now make sure to follow us on all our social media. Trust me, you won't regret it. See you on the next video.